Hello everyone and welcome to another SCPH replay sent in by the community. And this time it's gonna be a little bit different. So remember last week guys, we did the SIBOL qualifiers. Congratulations again to our top 3. We had Nuks, we had Phoenix, and we had Saipem. But now the community has decided to grace me with the replays, the ones we didn't get to cast on stream, the ones me and Panda weren't able to actually check out. And I'll be doing this every single day for the rest of the days into our week. So I do have 5 matches of replay, 5 games rather of replays. So I'll be doing one every day to release. So in our first one, this is gonna be from the SIBOL qualifiers, Nuks versus Artanisph. Gonna be a ZVP into this one. This one is gonna be game number 1, ladies and gents, so keep an eye out on the next game tomorrow, probably around the same time or maybe even in the morning, we shall see. And here on the top left though, introducing our Protoss player, we got Artanisph on the shiny blue. So it's good to see, first and foremost, red and blue. I'm not really sure if in replays they actually choose or keep the color rather, but that was something me and Panda were talking about for quite a while in the stream. Like, I love seeing the classic red and blue. I don't really like seeing any of the other colors. The contrast is perfect to see what unit is which, especially if they're playing the same race. But anyway, yeah, it's interesting that you get red for Zerg sometimes, where their default should be purple, right? And Terran is red. Sometimes blue also. Protoss is blue, but also sometimes yellow, sometimes gold. It is what it is, it's a little different. So this was one of the games within the second round, I believe, or the third. But anyway, we have Artanisph setting up the wall already on his expansion. He wants to play this safe, and he wants to be able to get that second base uncontested. In the meantime, Nuks already ready with that hatchery first and foremost. Spawning pool right behind that as well. We'll get that metabolic boost, gonna be very useful for any kind of Zerg player. Anyway, our map is gonna be Kairos Junction LE, and the gateway now being adjusted there by Artanisph. Is he going for the full wall? Is that what actually happened right here, right now? Can we see it? Yes, it is. I don't think there's any real way inside. Maybe here, if a Zealot should get in position, that should be the show. Now, Stargate opening here for Artanis. Interesting. We'll go into that Oracle as quick as can be, or maybe even Phoenix, just to get rid of these Overlords. In the meantime, Warp Gate research absolutely essential for any Protoss player. And Artanis now going north, trying to run away from these Zerglings. They don't have the wings yet. So this is gonna be the probe. Oh, it actually takes a breather and not what you wanna do. You have to run, Forrest. Run as fast as you can. This poor probe trying to stay alive. Can he make it out? Getting poked on down. Will metabolic boost finish? That would be so tragic for this one guy. Ring around the rosy, a pocket full of posy. And the probe right now trying to stay alive. This has to be the 10-yard line right here, right now. 10-kilometer run. And the probe gets taken down by the queen. No, the Zergling gets the nibble by the end instead. Yeah, they just went around in a loop. And Zerglings are back to where they came from. Metabolic boost does finish, so if the probe was able to get around here, might have still gotten taken down, might have gotten overtook by the Zerglings in the first place. But anyway, we are getting the Oracle right here, right now from Artanisph. And he's gonna go for a second. This is a very strong opening here for the Protoss, and he has to get value right here, right now. I think the Zergling actually saw that. Nuks reacting in kind. The Overlord passes by as well, and we already have Spore Crawlers in position, trying to morph on in. The Queen's transitioning to the second base, and this Oracle is one to see the future, but won't see that one coming. Instead, gonna take down that one drone, kills the creep tumor, gonna get that Zergling as well, and this might be too much here from Artanisph. He might be investing way too much with these Oracles. He's gonna get a second, I believe he got, I'm not sure if he did get a third or not, but at the same time, this Overlord just keeping an eye out. The Stalker gonna get warped on in instead. So yeah, in a situation like this, your Stargate can transition to Phoenixes instead. Very good against light units and can be useful with the beam. Interesting that there is Fog of War right here, right now in this spot. You get to see the gas station hiding. Kairos Junction looking like the Marsara tile set, I believe. But overall in this game, it's more about Nuks getting a little bit of the lead. Now he does get supply blocks, and the Oracle's trying to get into laser beam modes, but the Spore Crawler in position again. The Queen already gonna be in position as well. There's one Oracle, 7 HP, and a Dream able to stay alive. And now if I were Artanisph, I would transition these Oracles as support units instead. The Green Beam's not going to do anything at this point. The ramp up taking way too long for pretty solid pokes. What you want to do instead is get that Revelation. Also Stasis Trap going to be so strong just against the opposing army. But now, yes, we are going to get the Sentry, and there is a Creep Vice right here, right now for SCPH. The Sentry going to get in position, hold position to still stay on, and the Oracle is going to keep an eye out on the Zergling. Just going to see if it's going to go anywhere in the first place. In the meantime, what is Nuks doing? He is going for the Roach speed. Very useful for any kind of Zerg player. Can go for the all-in, or can just go for the tech, and there you go. It's going to be the range tech here for Nuks in this build. Roaches and Hydralisk is going to be together again as quick as can be. In the meantime, these Oracles still looking around, and Spore Crawler already positioned. Nuks really showing his stuff, showing his pedigree. He's always on point with what he has to do, knows what to do. And the Oracle now forced back on that after losing his counterparts. The Roaches are in position, and there are like 8 of them waiting at the wings. So anyway, it's just a whole lot of nothing so far. An Overseer though gonna get morphed in instead. And SIBOL Qualifiers was an absolute amazing experience, and I hope to be able to cast another StarCraft related thing soon, especially if it's in the PH scene, maybe into the SEA Games all overall. But honestly, just maybe a mini tournament would be amazing, because I love seeing that you guys have come in full force, really tried your luck. Now Stasis Trap being built. It gets the Queen, it gets the drone, so a little value here from the Oracle. This will hamper the production from Nuks' side. In the meantime, we are going to get hallucinated Phoenixes as well. But Artanisph playing this a little smart, trying to be like, oh, I'm running Phoenix instead. But when the hallucination does drop, it becomes a little more obvious, and Nuks might not fall for it. Anyway, Hydralisk then. You're going to be upgrading up both the range as well as the speed. You want these Hydras to be able to step their way to victory. But still, Nuks getting supply blocked. Artanisph honestly having a lot of opportunities here to expand, and he is doing it as much as he can in a safe way. But honestly, playing that Oracle opening does mean that he wanted to hamper the economy a lot earlier than he did, and there's just not too much damage done in the first place. So now it's time for the Protoss to tech one up, go for 200-200, win out with the ball, and deal with Infestors and Broodlords later on into the game. But still, Twilight Council researching up that blink. It does take around 2 minutes to make that one, but it is a very essential skill for any Protoss player. Hatchery now numbering it to the 4s, and Nuks just going north into this one. One direction at its finest. Maybe he'll light up my like the body else, but anyway, Archon right now being built here from those High Templar. I don't think he got Storm. I think he just went on to... He only went into High Temp to get some Archons. Can't go for the Zealot Archon composition. And the Robo Facility whipping out a Disruptor as well. And these guys, those Purification Pulses, just so strong. The Purification Nova, I believe that's what it's called. The Orange Ball of Doom, as many would say. Now what can the Protoss do right now? It's gonna be a Roach and a Hydralisk transition here from Nuks. He's investing pretty heavily into the army composition, and we're gonna get Vol. The Purifier Orb out in front won't get anything. This Adept, way too ambitious. Gonna get one Zergling, and okay, the 1v1 happens in favor of Artanisph. For now, Nuks gonna decide to back on out. We'll wait on for a little more reinforcements, maybe go for 200-200 just in case. And the Queens transition to the front line. Wants to get Creep Trimmers to allow that movement speed buff to actually help out these ranged units as much as possible. But anyway, we are gonna get Thermal Lance right here, right now from our Robo Bay. We are gonna see a Colossus as well queued up after the Immortals. But these mech units are very important here for Artanisph to actually take a win into the fight. +2 now on Zerg range as well as Carapace. Gonna be pretty important. More Hydralisks are coming, and the Hydras do actually have Light's armor, I believe, compared to Roaches. I may be wrong about that, so Immortal's not going to be the best. Warp Prism now going for the poke, but no! That's going to be Spines, and those Zealots screaming into the abyss. Warp back to Ire instead. Anyway, queens are in position, still spreading the creep, and look at this, half of the map already taken by Nuks so far with that goop. The roaches don't even care about that, and then finally turns around, Stasis Trap gonna get that front line, and honestly, Nuks probably expecting it already. The Oracle was in position, so he did send in a few units instead of all of them. Artanisph cannot commit. He has a smaller army and looks at the army supply, 118 to 81. Gonna be so dangerous. The Oracle easily taken down, won't get anything done at all. And that has to be proper positioning for the Protoss. It's always an overwhelming force here from the Zerg. The Nova though does connect onto the roaches in the front line, and Artanisph is gonna be able to braid it up just a little more for the time being. But anyway, still Archons numbering in the 4s right here, right now. And what else can Artanisph do? He's gonna need more pylons though to just try and keep up with the army supply, but Nuks already gonna go for the transition into the south side. Huge hit! What a hit there from the Disruptor! And Nuks forced back on out. 15 kills from this one big ball boy. Damn, what a shot! What a shot from Artanisph. Really going to show that he is the hierarch of the PH scene so far on his Protoss. Now though, we are gonna get the Warp Person, and still Artanisph supply block. He's gonna need more pallets than that. Into the backline it goes. In the meantime, still Zerglings, Roaches, Hydralisks running around the map. And what is Nuks gonna go for? So we are transitioning into a later game build. He has gotten into Hive Tech. We'll go for the Spire, make it into the Greater Spire. Infestation Pit as well is ready to go. And we are gonna get Swarm Hosts now. Interesting. So Nuks, this has to be all about the micro. If you guys don't really pay attention to the scene anymore, it's been a long time since Swarm Host needs to actually burrow to go for the Locust Toss. But anyway, the Zerglings poking on the left-hand side, and it's a two-prong attack. It's gonna be the wall being broken here. Artanisph is just punched up, and this poor wall broken down, and now Nuks just splitting up his army. He knows he has the army supply advantage. The Zealots whipping them back, and it's gonna be a very ambitious effort here from our warriors. But now we are gonna see some damage being done into the south side as well. And this is really the scary part of a Zerg army. Damn, that Warp Person completely wasted. It's all about having enough larvae after that first attack to get the reinforcement cycle, make it feel like the Zerg Swarm is an everlasting tide. And now we are gonna get the warp cycle on in again. It is gonna be a few Zealots just to go for the poke. The Robo Facility doesn't have any power, and he really needs these mech units into the fray. Now we are gonna get Observers right here, right now, just in case to see if there is any burrow in the first place. On +3 coming our way, +1 Carapace as well. I mean +1 Flyers rather, and the Immortals now trying to get on back, but Nuks already in such a good position on that primary race. Fleet Beacon goes down, Tech is erased, and there's so many actions of fights right here, right now into this game. There is a brawl here in the north, a brawl here in the south, and really feeling like a real war right here, right now. And I love the Swarm Host tech here from Nuks. He knows that he needs disposable units, especially against these disruptors. Swarm Hosts just running around, letting those Locusts expire, and the Colossus will be happy to stat pad their way to victory. So a little heartbreaking for Artanisph. He loses his wall, loses his fleet beacon, but he can keep on up. And a pretty good game so far between our players. Nuks though having a little bit of the advantage, having a little bit of the edge. The Broodlords now trying to get in position, gonna whip those Broodlings on out. But good thing though that the Archons are quite tanky with that one. Disruptor taking damage, and the Nexus gonna go down, doesn't get the cancel. Unfortunate there for Artanisph. Nuks really piling on the pressure. It's always fights everywhere and anywhere. But still, the Protoss pretty desperate for this fourth, maybe even gonna go for a fifth. And Artanisph, if he really wants to fight this, he needs a bigger army. He needs more than this. How much army does he have? 83 to 120. He's evening it up on worker supply, but it just isn't gonna be enough. Now the Broodlords are coming on back. Corruptor's gonna be there as well. Will be potent against those giraffes that are the Colossi. In the meantime, we are going to start seeing tower defense right here, right now from Artanisph. Bullet cannons being built, but I feel like he can use those minerals a little more wisely because he doesn't have much. Nuks in the meantime, holding on to those minerals. Those are probably going to be either Zerglings or something scary into later on. But anyway, we are getting the fight. It is going to be two Immortals against that expansion. The Zealots running onto the right-hand side, but the Broodlings going to chew that one up. And it's gonna be the bulk of the army getting creep blocked by not only the Broodlings, but also his own Photos cannons. Artanisph making a huge mistake putting up those buildings. And it's not gonna be enough. The Broodlings are in position with those Broodlords just flying on top. and this is gonna be a late game Zerg army that you cannot sleep on. Usually when you get Broodlords, you also see Infestors, but Nuks still enjoying playing the Roaches, playing the Hydralisk, and now, a classic transition here for any Protoss player, as we will see the Locust now clean up this expansion base, and this has to be game over, because Artanisph that is just knocking on your doorstep. Those Zealots gonna do absolutely nothing against these Broodlords. He does have that Stargate, but he's gonna need Tempest right here, right now. He doesn't have the Fleet Beacon whatsoever, and will this just be a base race instead? Yes, Artanis just bailing out on his base. Gonna try to get to the center of the map instead. Cleans up the creep, but the Broodlords are in position, and it's gonna be a pincer attack perhaps. The Swarmos are on the right. Psystorm not gonna do much. It's gonna be a tanky unit. The Broodlords sure are quite slow, but not really on point right here, right now. And the Hydralisk and the Roaches just cleaning up that second wall again. It looks dire here for Artanisph. Is back against the wall. The Zealots though gonna get warped on in. With the Warp Prism is in position, but still any kind of Broodlord that pays attention will get that takedown. It's all about being a nuisance right here now for Artanisph and get that Dark Shrine to be built. It takes a while for this building to actually be online. And the real question is Nuks ready to stop that? He does have Spore Crawlers in position, but he doesn't seem like to have any real Overseers. So this might be a little bit of an opening here for Artanisph, but I really feel like Tempests are the real way to go right here, right now, as the Archon gets surrounded. Here we go with the Star Blink on forward. Psystorm though on his own units. The Purification Nova will get a few of the Swarm Hosts, but they are only red. They don't really fall, and this has to be heartbreaking for Artanisph. He tried his mightiest to prevent the tide from coming. He tried with the Oracles, he tried with drops, but Nuks, he was not one to sleep on. It was all about pressure, and now it is gonna be the dam waiting to burst. The creep spread, knocking on the Protoss' door. Artanisph gonna lose a pylon, and this might be the army already getting surrounded. Nova gonna go for the hit, misses completely. Stalker Blink on forward, won't do anything against those armored pesky units. The Psystorm gets some damage done. The Colossus tried to back on out. Here comes the Corruptors, here comes the Broodlings, and Artanisph, this has to be enough. 138 to 53. Doesn't have any minerals and gas in the back. He's trying his luck, but these Broodlords are just watching from above, tossing units left, right, and center. The High Templar cannot focus whatsoever, and will get an F in that class. And now the beginning of the end creeps on forward for Artanisph. The last of his army just backing on out to the south side. In the meantime, Nuks just taking advantage of the whole map, and Locust gonna fly on into the main. Will clean up the tech as well. And this is gonna be Artanisph just trying one last time. A base race of sorts perhaps. But the Locust cleaning. The Swarm Hosts are just chilling up here. Just sending their babies all the way to that main past the ramp. And just glowing. Everywhere on the map it's glowing. But the Hydralisks are in position. The Roach is going to be there as well. 2 High Templar left. Can they go for the Desperation Archon? It doesn't seem like the cinematic is accurate. Because Nuks gonna take the win in an 18-minute mark fashion. Well done there to both players. But Nuks able to pile on the pressure and prevent any kind of pokes happening. Artanisph tried his luck. But that was the show. So I'll be sending you guys over to game number 2 tomorrow. Thank you guys for tuning on in. This was a match from the SIBOL qualifiers. And even though we do know the results already, these games do deserve the attention. So I'll see you guys in the next one.